Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and shalom to the Archeam that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rokah Kodash. This is from ITV News, and basically it's saying, what is the Windrush generation and are they safe in the UK? Because Esau has deported a lot of Benjamites that came over here during the Windrush and helped build up this land, helped basically did the jobs that these crackers didn't want to do, man. Came here, caught hell, and helped build it up, all right, to what it is today, okay? Basically, Esau's deported a lot of them, man. A lot of Jakes deported them, you know what I'm saying, that have been here for years. So it's like it's a little thing that's happening now in the media. But this basically just shows you that these devils don't give a fuck about you, man. And that you so-called Negroes in England or all over the world are in slavery, man. This shows you these devils don't give a fuck. But you have a lot of our people that fight so hard to uphold this society when the government don't give a fuck about you. Here is you help build up this land, but they're now deporting loads of Jakes. They've deported loads of Jakes, man. Loads of Benjamites got deported, man, back to various islands. That shows you that you're in captivity, man, and that these motherfucking devils don't give a fuck about you. When are you gonna wake up to that, man? But let me play this clip here.
On their way to Britain, the first wave of West Indians since
they came for a better life, but now thousands of the children of those very first Commonwealth settlers have been made to feel very unwelcome. The so-called Windrush babies are now in their 50s, and after a lifetime of work, many face uncertainty because they don't have the right papers.
After a lifetime of work, many face uncertainty because they don't have any papers. So they come here, done loads of they basically worked labourers' jobs, yeah? And then now they're saying, because they don't have papers, they got to get sent back. But then they might have been here 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, however many years, man. That shows you that this man's the devil, man. When are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans going to wake up to that fact, man? No, we know according to the scriptures, only the elect is going to wake up, man. That's why the Lord's going to destroy this society. And a lot of our people that want to cling on to this man's society, mean you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites, you're going to get put to death, man, if you don't wake up and come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai now. Because the Lord's about to nuke this place, man. This place is out of here. But it shows you that they don't give two shits about you, man.
Today, government minister said tough new rules.
I'm talking about these Edomites, man. The so-called white man and his governments and the so-called white race as a whole. Don't give a fuck about you Negroes, man. When are you going to wake up to that, man?
Had already hurt some.
Have people been deported as a result of not having the right papers?
There have been some horrendous situations which, as a minister, have appalled me.
So what I'm determined to do... That's a yes. Do you know how many?
No, I don't know the numbers. But what I'm determined to do going forward is to say we'll have no more of this. We want people to have confidence to come to the Home Office.
But people like Glenda Caesar are losing confidence by the day.
We will go back to our own HMRC.
This goes back to the scriptures, man. This goes back to the scriptures, all right? The curses. When you read in the book of Deuteronomy 28, there was curses that the Lord had put on our people, which really the curses go into captivities that we've been in. All right, the curses that we'll be under when we break the laws of the Lord and he puts us under our heathen enemies, man. Now we're under the so-called white man and we're under those curses again, man. We've been under them curses. And this is part of it, man. You have to build up. The Lord put us in captivity under Esau, building up his societies, and you don't see nothing of it, man. Yeah, you have Jakes around that are doing well, sprinkled, like that got money and whatnot, that are living all right in the society. But we're talking about Jake as a whole, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the whole race of our people as a whole are at the bottom, man.
She's been here since she was 3 months old and has worked in the NHS for 25 years, but now can't work. She hasn't yet got the paperwork to satisfy the Home Office.
Why am I not British? I've got children, I went to school here, I've got a national insurance number, I had a provisional license, so why am I not British?
Anyone who came to the UK from a Commonwealth country before 1973 was legally entitled to live here. But there are incomplete records of who arrived, and it's thought around 50,000 people haven't applied for passports to prove their residency. It means many don't have the necessary documents to work, rent property, or access benefits.
We cannot have 60-something, 70-year-old persons who have made invaluable contributions to this country to be living in fear. Some of them are afraid that the next knock they hear on the door will be the authorities picking them up and bringing them to a detention center. That needs to stop.
Many heads of state are in the UK this week for a Commonwealth summit. The Prime Minister has promised to meet them about this, and they want action. Meanwhile, political pressures mounting.
This is a day of national shame, and it has come about because of a hostile environment policy that was begun under her Prime Minister.
Frankly, some of the way they have been treated has been wrong, has been appalling, and I am sorry.
It's not clear how many of the thousands who were invited here to work in the 60s and 70s are now affected. But tonight, the government's under pressure to reassure many who came here legally half a century ago that they have the right to live and work here now. Penny Marshall, ITV News.
Yeah, well, this goes back to the curses anyway, man. The Lord got us under severe curses in Babylon, man. You know? But we're getting ready to come up out of it. But look what they're doing, man. You got Benjamites that help build up this society, and they're telling you got to go back to the islands, man. You can't, you might have had a life here, but then you might not have the paperwork, and then they're coming and sending you, deporting you. That's happening, okay? But that shows you that the so-called white man's a devil, man. And those of our people that don't wake up to that, you're gonna be put to death in this society along with him, man. You see? And he done the same. He does the same thing to Judah in America, man. Babylon the Great, all right. To Gad, to the Issachar, help up build the society. Judah built up the whole of America, man. But then what? Then the ghettos, man. Pretty much, man. You don't receive the benefits of the goodies of that society, man, as a whole. All right. But that's all right, because it's not for us anyway. This is our enemy's kingdom, man. The so-called white man, Esau's kingdom. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So when you read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, 15 on down is all the curses that have overtaken us, man. Read it. That's all the curses that have overtaken you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Now we're in this condition that we're in today because we broke the laws of the Most High, man. We broke the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So he's put us under our oppressors, man. And we deserve it because we was going off. You see? So everything that happens unto our people in this society is because why? We broke the laws of the Lord, man. Now the Lord's getting ready to lift us up off of the curses, man. All right? This is verse 16. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." That's talking about the work environment, man. Jake's cursed, man. The first fired, last hired. All right? You do like they're showing the Windrush generation that come here. You built up this society, did all the jobs that the Edomite, these devils didn't want to do. Then what? Now they all the years have gone by. Now they're saying fuck off back to where you came from, pretty much. You see what I'm saying? Use you for the cheap labor and get rid of you. You see? But then you got Jake. Yeah, living it up here. He ain't living it up here. The so-called white man rules over us, man. He could do what as he wills in this society. Well, as much as the Lord allows him to. But he can get up and say tomorrow, look, I'm sending you back to where I want you to send you from, deport you. And that's what he's doing. It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the field, and cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field." That's these fucking work environments, man. We're cursed in this place, man. All right? We're cursed, man. Even you might have a Jake that's super cooning for Esau. Esau will use him for that labor. Then after all is said and done, get the hell out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But then that guy thinking I'm doing such a good thing, I'm super cooning. But then Esau sees that and gets rid of you anyway. But that's, it's the script, it's the spirit of the Lord, man. The Lord's allowing all this to happen. Okay? This is Isaiah. Let me read this here. Isaiah 51 and 22. It says, "Thus saith the Lord and thy power." It says, "Thus saith the Lord and thy power, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more." Actually, you know what? This wasn't the one I wanted. Let me read this one. Excuse me. Zechariah. This is the book of Zechariah. I'll get to that. The one I was reading. I'll get it next after this. This is Zechariah 11 and 5. It says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." Yeah, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Now, who possesses you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans right now? The so-called white man, Esau. Because his hand is clasped on the earth at the moment. He's got the power of the earth. He's got the dominion of the earth, and he's ruling over the people of the earth. But primarily, the Lord's people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, he's over us at the moment, man. So he's our possessor that slays us, okay? The so-called white man. And it says, and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So that's who slays us as the so-called white man. And it says, and hold themselves not guilty, because the so-called white man, like for example, if you bring up slavery to the so-called white man, look, your people had our people in slavery. That's a fact. Oh no, for that was the past or whatever. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, and they hold themselves not guilty or accountable for all the crimes that they've done against us. Now, the Lord holds them accountable because the Lord's going to judge them inevitably anyway. But this is just the proof that the so-called white man's the devil, because he possesses us, he slays us, but he holds himself not guilty. Now, proof of that is what's going on now. The Windrush generation. You had first of all, why did most of the Jakes from the Caribbean come here anyway? For a better life. Because the Caribbean is what? Slave colonies, man. That the so-called white man had, man. The British Empire. And what were they doing? They were enslaving our people, raping us, murdering us. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that our people came from there to here and helped build up this place was why? Because the lands that they were taken and enslaved have been destroyed. That's why everyone comes here anyway, man. Everyone that comes here comes because Esau has destroyed their lands. Primarily, Jake, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Well, primarily right now, the Benjamites came here into England, because you got a lot of Benjamites in England, came to England. Why? Because the colonies that they were taken to, what? There's nothing there for them, man. So they had to come here to work. Come here to make a living. Come here because they think the streets are paved with gold, man. But then Esau let you come here in the Windrush, build up his shit, and now he's saying, I'm sending you back to the islands, mate. Now he's deporting you. Now he's telling you to F off, mate. That should show you, so-called Negroes, that this man's the devil, man. All right? But like we always say, if you don't wake up and come back to the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and come back to knowing you're an Israelite, the Lord's going to put you to death anyway, man. All right? Because there's going to be an elect out of the tribe of Benjamin that's going to wake up anyway. All right? 12,000 from the tribe of Benjamin are going to wake up anyway, man. And they're going to bring back that tribe, man. All right? So let me read this again. Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And that's the so-called white man. He possesses us, he slays us, and he holds himself not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. All right? So let me move to this scripture here. This is Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah 51 and 22. It says, Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord and thy power, that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. Talking about the captivity that we've suffered, man. The Lord's going to remove us, take the curses off of us, and take us out of this condition that we're in, man. And oppress the enemies, man. Oppress the heathens. The roles are going to get reversed pretty much. So the so-called white man, he's gonna be our slave in the times to come, the future to come. You know? So it says, Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So we ain't going to suffer these things that we're suffering again, man. All this stuff that we're suffering, because we're still suffering until this day, man. All right? If you're an Israelite, if you're of the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man, you're suffering, man. Now, you got Jakes that are doing well, that have sold out in this society, that are doing all right, that have got money, living in nice areas and whatnot. But as a race, as a whole, we're suffering, man. All right? But the Lord's going to take us up out of here soon, man. He's gonna put us, he's going to raise us back up, man. All right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. In verse 23, it says, But I'll put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. Now, who's afflicted us? Primarily in this time, Esau, the so-called white man, has afflicted you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Big time. Afflicted us. All right? Messed us up, man. It says, But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And they've literally have said that, man. They've bowed us down, stepped on us, literally, man. Stepped on our back, stepped on us, man. All over us, trodden on us, man. Says that said to our soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou was laid thy body as the ground. Yeah, laid down as the ground and as the street to them that went over. So that's pretty much what they've done. They've laid us down and trodden on us, man. All right? Trodden on us, man. And part of that is Jake now, the Benjamites from the Windrush generation. He's deporting a lot of them, man. Saying, look, you've helped. Basically, you've done what you've had to do over it. We've used you for what we needed. Now we're deporting you, mate. That's what they're doing. This shows you that this man's the devil, man. All right? Okay? But that's what the point is, man. They've trodden over us, man. But the Lord's getting ready to reverse the roles that we may tread on them now, man. All right? Tread on the Edomites, man. Okay? All right? So with that, I'm just going to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the Archeam that are teaching this word. Shalom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.